Right now, inside your body, there is a powerful repair system that most people never turn on. It does not need pills. It does not need extreme workouts. It does not need months of effort. It can start working in just one day, one simple change. That is all it takes to shift your body from storing fat to repairing itself. In this video, you will learn how a short, controlled reset can wake up stem cells and push stubborn fat into burn mode at the same time. This is not motivation talk. This is not hype. This is how the human body is designed to work when the conditions are right. For years, science focused on long-term dieting, heavy exercise, and complex routines. But newer research shows that timing, stress signals, and rest periods matter more than most people think. When the body senses the right kind of short stress, it stops focusing on growth and storage and starts focusing on repair. That is when stem cells receive stronger signals. That is when damaged tissue gets attention. And that is when fat, especially stubborn fat, becomes fuel instead of a problem. Most people never experience this state because modern habits block it every single day. Eating from morning to night keeps insulin high. High insulin keeps fat locked in place. It also keeps repair systems quiet. Stem cells stay inactive. Inflammation stays high. Energy stays low. But when food timing changes, even briefly, the body reacts fast. Hormones shift within hours. Fat-burning enzymes turn on. Cellular cleanup begins. Old and weak cells start breaking down. Signals that support stem cell renewal increase. These changes are not slow. They are quick. Some start in the first 12 hours. Others follow soon after. This is why one day matters more than people expect. In this video, you will understand what actually happens inside your body during this one-day reset. You will learn why stem cells respond to it, why stubborn fat finally listens, and why this method feels easier than constant dieting. You will also learn why doing more is not always better, and why the body often needs less input, not more. We will break down the science in simple language. No complex terms, no confusion, just clear logic. You will see how your body switches between two modes, why one mode dominates modern life, and how to access the other without extreme effort. You will also learn who this method is meant for and who should avoid it, because real science always includes safety and limits. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to try, what to expect, and why even one day can change how your body feels and functions. Stay with us till the end, because the most important insight comes after everything connects together. Welcome to our channel, where we break down science-backed ideas in a clear and honest way. If you want more content that helps you understand your body and use it better, subscribe now and stay connected for what comes next. Most people wake up already feeling tired, even after a full night of sleep, and they carry extra fat that refuses to go away no matter how little they eat or how hard they try. This is not because the body is weak, it is because the body is stuck in the wrong mode all day long. Modern eating habits never give the body a real break. Food comes in early in the morning, then snacks, then lunch, then more snacks, then dinner, then something sweet at night. From the body's point of view, this looks like a constant signal to store, store, store. Every time food enters, insulin rises. Insulin is not a bad hormone, but it has one main job. It tells the body to save energy. When insulin stays high for most of the day, fat burning stays low. The body chooses storage over usage. Over time, fat cells grow larger and more stubborn. They become harder to open. They resist normal calorie cutting. This is why many people eat less but still gain fat. At the same time, energy drops. Cells do not get a chance to clean themselves. Waste builds up inside cells. Mitochondria, the parts that create energy, slow down. The result is a heavy body and a foggy mind. Repair systems stay quiet because the body thinks food is always coming. There is no reason from its perspective to repair or recycle. Stem cell activity also slows because the body is focused on managing incoming energy, not renewing itself. This is why aging seems faster today. It is not just years, it is constant storage without repair. Stem cells are often talked about in complex ways, but their role is simple. They are the body's internal repair crew. When tissue gets damaged, stem cells help replace worn out cells with new healthy ones. They support muscles after stress. They help organs maintain function. They support the lining of the gut. They play a role in how the immune system resets. They even influence how well the body handles sugar and fat. When stem cells are active, the body recovers faster. When they are quiet, small problems slowly grow into big ones. As people age, stem cell activity naturally declines, but stress speeds this process up. Poor sleep, constant eating, inflammation, and mental pressure all send signals that tell stem cells to stay inactive. The body does this to conserve energy. It chooses survival over optimization. But this decline is not permanent. Stem cells respond to signals. When the environment inside the body changes, their activity can increase. This does not require medical procedures or extreme interventions. It requires the right internal conditions. The body must sense that it is safe to repair and rebuild. That signal does not come from more food. It comes from strategic absence of food. The body operates on a simple switch that most people never think about. There are two main modes. One is feeding mode, the other is repair mode. Feeding mode is dominant when food is present. Growth happens here, storage happens here. Insulin is active. Repair is limited. This mode is useful for survival, but it was never meant to run all day every day. Repair mode activates when food is absent for a period of time. Insulin drops, fat becomes accessible, hormones shift, cellular cleanup begins. Old proteins are broken down and reused. Damaged parts inside cells are removed. This process frees up space and energy. Stem cell signals become stronger in this environment because the body recognizes an opportunity to rebuild efficiently. Eating all day blocks this switch from ever flipping. Even small snacks can interrupt it. The body does not need weeks to respond. It needs hours. Short, controlled stress tells the body that it must rely on internal resources. This stress is not dangerous. It is natural. Humans evolve with periods of eating and periods of not eating. During those gaps, repair had to happen. The body learned to use that time wisely. When this repair mode activates, stubborn fat behaves differently. Stubborn fat is not just extra calories. It is fat that is protected by hormones. It resists release when insulin is high. When insulin drops, that protection weakens. Fat cells begin releasing stored energy. This energy fuels repair processes. It supports the brain. It supports the muscles. The body becomes lighter, not just in weight, but in function. Energy becomes steady instead of spiking and crashing. Mental clarity improves because inflammation drops. Stem cells respond to this cleaner environment. They receive clearer signals. They are no longer suppressed by constant growth signals. They can focus on renewal. This is why short periods without food have effects that long diets often fail to produce. Long diets keep stress high and energy low. Short resets keep stress controlled and signals sharp. The constant tiredness many people feel is not from doing too much. It is from never allowing the body to finish its internal work. Repair requires quiet time. It requires low insulin. It requires access to stored energy. Without these conditions, the body runs inefficiently. It keeps pushing forward without maintenance. Over time, this creates fatigue that sleep alone cannot fix. Sleep helps, but sleep combined with constant feeding still limits repair. The body needs both rest and metabolic space. When it gets that space, even briefly, systems begin to rebalance. Stem cells are part of that rebalance. They are sensitive to the internal environment. When inflammation is high and insulin is high, they stay cautious. When inflammation drops and energy comes from within, they become active. This is not magic, it is design. Short stress activates healing because it reminds the body of its original programming. The body is adaptable. It reads signals and responds. When signals are constant, responses become dull. When signals are clear and temporary, responses are strong. This is why one controlled day can do more than weeks of unfocused effort. The body notices the change immediately. It shifts priorities. Storage loses importance. Repair gains importance. Fat becomes fuel. Stem cells become responsive. Energy begins to rise from a deeper level. This shift does not announce itself loudly. It works quietly inside, setting the stage for change that can continue beyond that single day. There is a reason this approach is framed around just one day and not a week, a month, or a lifetime promise. The power of this method comes from its simplicity and its precision. One day is short enough that the mind does not resist it, yet long enough for the body to clearly notice a change. This is not about willpower. It is about giving the body a clean signal. The strategy itself is not complicated, and that is exactly why it works. No special products are required. No powders, no pills, no expensive plans, nothing to buy. The body already has everything it needs. What matters is timing and control. When input stops for a controlled window, the body immediately begins adjusting priorities. This single day acts like a reset button. It tells the body that it must rely on internal systems instead of constant external supply. That message alone is powerful. The body listens fast. This is why the method does not rely on extreme rules. Complexity creates stress, and stress confuses signals. Simplicity sharpens them. The focus here is not on doing more. It is on temporarily stepping back. By keeping the method limited to one day, the body feels safe enough to respond instead of panicking. Long deprivation can slow metabolism. Short, controlled absence does the opposite. It wakes it up. During this day, something subtle but important happens. The body begins to shift away from constant digestion. Digestion is expensive. It uses energy. It creates waste. When digestion pauses, that energy becomes available for other tasks. Insulin, which has been elevated for most people for most of the day, begins to fall. This drop is not dangerous. It is natural. Lower insulin opens the door to stored energy. Fat cells that were locked shut begin to loosen. Fat burning turns on quietly. There is no dramatic feeling at first. It is a gradual internal change. As fat becomes available, the body no longer feels threatened. It stops sending emergency hunger signals. Instead, it stabilizes. At the same time, the body starts cleaning house. Old cells that are weak or damaged begin to break down. This recycling process is efficient. Parts that can be reused are reused. Waste is removed. This reduces clutter inside cells. Cleaner cells work better. They produce energy more smoothly. Inflammation, which thrives on constant input and cellular waste, begins to drop. Less inflammation means clearer signals. Clearer signals allow repair systems to communicate more effectively. Stem cells respond strongly to this environment. They do not act randomly. They respond to need and opportunity. When inflammation is high and energy is coming from constant food, stem cells stay quiet. The environment is noisy and inefficient. During this one-day shift, the environment changes. Energy comes from within. Waste is being cleared. Signals become more precise. This is when stem cell signaling increases, not because the body is desperate, but because it is finally organized enough to repair. The body does not want to build new tissue on top of chaos. It waits until conditions improve. This day creates those conditions. The increase in stem cell signaling supports renewal across multiple systems. Muscles recover better. Metabolic pathways reset. The lining of organs gets attention. This does not mean everything is fixed in one day. It means the process begins. The direction changes. Stubborn fat responds differently to this approach because stubborn fat is not controlled by calories alone. It is controlled by hormones. Traditional dieting often fails because it focuses only on eating less while keeping insulin elevated through frequent meals. This sends mixed signals. The body hears scarcity but also hears constant feeding. It responds by holding on tighter. Stubborn fat is designed to protect against uncertainty. When hormones signal safety and internal energy availability, that protection weakens. This method targets hormones first, not calories. By lowering insulin and stabilizing stress hormones, fat cells receive a clear message. They are no longer needed for emergency storage. They can release energy. This is why fat burning feels different during this process. It feels calmer. There is less craving, less urgency. The body is not fighting itself. What makes this approach work fast is not speed in the aggressive sense. It is speed in communication. The body understands the signal immediately. It does not need days to interpret it. Hormonal shifts happen within hours. Fat-burning enzymes activate quickly. Inflammation responds just as fast. This is why people often notice changes in how they feel before changes in how they look. The internal shift comes first. Energy becomes steadier. The mind feels clearer. The body feels lighter, even if the scale has not moved yet. These are signs that the system has changed direction. The simplicity of the one-day structure also removes mental resistance. Long plans create pressure. Pressure increases stress hormones. Stress hormones interfere with fat loss and repair. A single day feels manageable. The body senses this calm. The nervous system stays relaxed. Repair is allowed to happen. This balance between control and ease is critical. Too much stress shuts repair down. Too little signal changes nothing. This method sits in the middle. It is intentional, brief, and clear. As the day progresses, the body continues adjusting. Hunger waves come and go. Each wave is a signal recalibrating. The body learns that it can rely on stored energy without danger. This builds metabolic confidence. When the body trusts itself, it lets go more easily. This trust is what stubborn fat has been waiting for. Not force, not restriction, but clarity. All of these processes overlap and reinforce each other. Lower insulin supports fat release. Fat release fuels repair. Repair lowers inflammation. Lower inflammation improves stem cell signaling. Improved signaling enhances metabolic efficiency. This cycle builds momentum quietly throughout the day. There is no finish line yet, no result to claim. Only a system shifting back toward its natural rhythm, step by step, hour by hour, responding exactly as it was designed to respond when the right signal finally arrives. This approach is designed for healthy adults who want to understand their body better and give it a short, controlled reset, not a punishment. It works best for people whose bodies can already handle normal daily stress without medical support. If someone generally eats regular meals, sleeps reasonably well, and does not rely on medication to control blood sugar or blood pressure, this kind of one-day strategy usually fits within the body's natural range. Still, it is not meant for everyone, and that matters. People who are pregnant, underweight, recovering from illness, dealing with eating disorders, or managing chronic medical conditions should not experiment with sudden changes without professional guidance. The body always comes first. Even for healthy adults, the most important rule is awareness. This is not about forcing anything. It is about observing. The body gives feedback constantly through energy levels, focus, mood, and physical sensation. Listening to those signals is more important than following any idea perfectly. Mild hunger, light fatigue, or a sense of emptiness can be normal during a reset. but dizziness, weakness, confusion, or sharp discomfort are signals to stop. Safety does not require fear, it requires respect. When the body feels supported, it responds positively. When it feels threatened, it resists. This is why the method emphasizes control, not extremes. A calm nervous system allows repair to happen. Pushing through warning signs shuts it down. When the day ends, many people notice changes that are subtle but meaningful. Mental clarity is often the first thing that stands out. Thoughts feel less scattered. Focus feels steadier. The mind no longer jumps from one craving to another. This happens because blood sugar becomes more stable and inflammation begins to drop. The brain runs more efficiently when it is not reacting to constant spikes. Along with mental clarity, there is often a sense of lightness in the body. This is not always weight loss. It is reduced pressure, reduced swelling, less internal heaviness. Bloating often goes down because digestion has had time to rest. The gut lining benefits from this pause. Gas and discomfort decrease. Clothes may feel looser even without a scale change. Energy also feels different. Instead of quick bursts followed by crashes, energy becomes smoother. It lasts longer. It feels quieter but stronger. Many people describe it as calm energy rather than nervous energy. This shift alone can be motivating. It shows that the body is capable of change without suffering. Motivation to continue often comes naturally after this experience, not because of discipline, but because of relief. The body feels easier to live in. The mind feels clearer to think with. This creates curiosity rather than pressure. People start wondering what would happen if they respected these signals more often. What if they stopped blocking repair every day? What if they created space regularly instead of constantly adding more? This mindset shift is powerful because it moves away from control through force and toward cooperation with the body. The body already knows how to heal. It has been doing it quietly since birth. Cuts close, bones strengthen, cells renew. None of this requires conscious effort. What interferes is constant interruption, constant input, constant stimulation. When those interruptions pause, even briefly, healing becomes visible. One day does not fix everything. It does not need to. It only needs to change direction. Small actions, when timed correctly, send stronger signals than big actions done constantly. This is how systems work. This is how biology responds. When you stop blocking the process begins on its own, moving forward quietly, steadily, and naturally, just as it was always meant to do. This is not about forcing your body to change. It is about giving it a chance to do what it already knows how to do. If this idea makes sense to you, try it safely and responsibly, and pay attention to how your body responds. Small experiments teach you more than endless rules. If this video helped you see fat loss and healing in a clearer way, support the channel by liking this video. It tells us to keep bringing you honest, science-based content without hype. Subscribe to the channel if you want more simple explanations that help you work with your body instead of fighting it. And if you know someone who is tired of stubborn fat and constant frustration, share this video with them. One share can start a real change for someone who needs it.